Ladies and gentlemen, I am your planetary defense commander, Star-Lord New Thor 7, and I didn't want to have to make this video because right now nobody wants to talk about the plague. Everybody is sick of talking about the plague, but we are popping beers, giving thanks to life and all that is good together. And I gotta break the bad news off to you that today in Michigan, United States, one of the states that Trump called for to be liberated, reported 5,000 cases, new cases of COVID and the coronavirus, and 250 deaths. And for people who might be saying that is BS, dude, Friday is news dump day. Hey. And so I'll pile in all the information at the front for people who are going to watch the video later. But so Michigan has reported that there were 5,000 new coronavirus cases today and 250 people died yesterday. And so it has been my belief that the green team, and green means money, has been tricking the Republicans, the red team, into not caring about the virus. It's a hoax. It's just like the flu. And then now they've tricked the blue team, the Democrats, into not caring about the virus due to the protests, like with the protests. And that when we were at about 50,000 deaths, maybe even 20,000, I said beware at 100,000 COVID American deaths, they're going to try and hijack the energy. I didn't know what they were going to do. I took a guess of use racial tensions, but apparently they used the death to send everyone into protest, the hundreds of years of American inequality. And so the protests were a trap, man. The protests were a trap. And so June is going to continue to escalate in its shittiness. I hate to have to tell you that, but that is why you guys take such good care of me and are so great to me, because I do what I can to tell you the truth that may benefit you, your family, and your friends, and your community. And so June is going to escalate. It's going to be super Marsy. It's going to be super Erisy. It's going to be all conflict. We have Eclipse that just ended. Eclipse energy is always crazy. The bookend eclipse, Act 2 eclipse, is June 21st. And so the 19th, the 20th, and the 21st are going to be really bad. But it will probably be bad for our rulers. But whatever happens to our rulers, shit slides downhill, I guess. Whether it be a frozen turd or a sticky turd. I guess the sticky turds get stuck to the surface. So that's a bad metaphor. And so yeah, dude, like June is going to be rough. But when we get to the 23rd and 24th, things will improve. So I want to say happy strawberry eclipse, as crazy as the world is. And I recognize that not only black people, but people of color have endured incredible amounts of racism. Our country was founded on slavery. As a Christian, many of the Christians in history were okay with slavery or racial inequality. And so I understand the fight, but it reminds me of the gun protests where at the beginning they had all these women and people out marching against guns. And so you fast forward a year or two and the gun ownership has actually climbed since that time period. And so that now with the protests are just a trap. to get people and their grandmas to get the virus. If you are just now tuning in, the information that has me alarmed is that 5,000 new cases were reported of the coronavirus in Michigan today. And there are 250 Michigan deaths. And so the death toll is starting to climb back up. The plague is real. I have stayed on message as your planetary defense commander since January 30th. The plague is real. It will probably be with us for 2 years. You may survive it. Hell, even my fat ass that smokes might survive it. But it will kill older people. It will kill people with pre-existing conditions. And those are human beings, man. If our president gets it, he'd have a hard time surviving. And so, I know it is not a popular message now, but now is not a good time to be having protests, man. Even with social distancing and the masks, like, mob mentality is bad. Like, it leads to bad things. And that our whole, like, pretty much the majority of the year is going to be submerged in conflict and war. And now more than ever, it is best for people to stay cool. That the people need to unite and have a real strategy. Instead of having the powers that be use the narrative to control us on a leash. Anyway, that's my whole point. That is the video. That there are 5,000 new coronavirus cases in Michigan alone today. There are 250 deaths from the coronavirus reported today, which is Michigan's probably quintupled their highest death rate before that. And that the green team, the money team, the power team doesn't give a shit about politics, bro. I have mentioned before, I've had a chance to sit down over the last 10 years with billionaires, with powerful people of all sectors. And I'm not saying, and the ones I met seemed like good people, but I'm just saying that the people who care about money and power only care about money and power. And so they are using race, religion, sexuality, gender, whatever, politics to divide everyone, and it is working so well. And I'm so tired of it. And you are powerful. I'm powerful. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you are not powerful, that you do not make a difference in this world, because you do. Your every thought, your every action changes the future. This I swear. So play defense. The next 2 weeks are going to be fucking wild. And it is no surprise that as the eclipse was happening, Cristobal is moving off the Yucatan Peninsula and is now over water. And I think it's going to be, I'm 95% sure it's going to be a hurricane. I've said that for 2 straight weeks. There's no way I'm pulling off that now. And I fear that it could be a category 2, or, you know, it's 2020. And I don't know why I gotta explain to people playing like defense. 2020 is like a maximum defense year, a maximum be smart, maximum be cool. Don't let them trigger you. And hey, we're all human. I get triggered sometimes. I make mistakes. But this is going to be war and conflict, and that I side with the people. I protect the people. From the richest to the rich, the poorest to the poor. I'm in it for the people. Because you're all my brothers and sisters. You're all my family, man. Here comes the helicopter. I like flying machines, so cheers. So it's the second time I've drank beer in June. But there were 5,000 cases of COVID in Michigan today and 250 deaths. And so I'm here warning y'all again. The fucking lockdowns are coming back, man. I know President Commander-in-Chief Trump said, look, I don't give a shit. If a second wave comes, we are not closing anything down. We're not going to hurt the economy. But when we start getting back up to 2,000 dead Americans a day, and remember, we flattened the curve. And the whole time I recommended solidifying the safety nets and figuring out how to make it through this year together while solidifying supply lines and taking care of everybody. Nobody liked that idea. And so there's definitely a dog-eat-dog aspect to 2020. And heavy deception is all around. And they play on your emotions. And so, yeah, the virus is coming. I mean, so now the protests are like reverse social distancing and reverse lockdowns. So we went from like lockdown to protests, and we're going back to lockdown, dude. Remember, from February, the start of February, I was saying, hey, I'm 99% sure we are going into lockdowns in the middle of March. From the very beginning of February, I said that. And then boom, we were there. And so I'm like 90% sure, 95% sure here, but I'm pretty sure we're going back to lockdown, dude. And so if the numbers were still kind of bad at the beginning of us doing the lockdown, then the numbers are probably going to be pretty fucking bad 10 days from now. And that because our civilization is so interwoven and dependent on each other as it should be, that the virus is going to spread like wildfire again. Because, you know, when your food plants, your meat packing plants, your grocery stores, your hospitals, your bus drivers, a lot of the infection happens interfamily. I have been lucky in that aspect to where, like a bizarre hermit, I've just been sitting in this apartment 99% of the time for the last 2 years because I figured that would be the best strategy as your planetary defense commander. But collectively, we've screwed the pooch and shit the bed again and 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 again. In 2020, we keep doubling down on bad decisions, and it's not the collective, dude. It's really the power 1,000 or power 60 or however you want to look at it. And so, yeah, prayers up, prayer warriors. And that tell your friends to just play defense. Play like the virus is going to have a harder time with more sunlight and the heat. So it's going to have a harder time in the summer. But I'm pretty sure lockdowns are coming back sometime between June 21st and September. Nobody wants to hear that. We should be planning to deal with this fucking plague we got a year and a half left. It's so weird being the responsible adult in the room who isn't fooled by politics at all. So, I love y'all. Y'all are fantastic. And I know this is a message nobody wanted to hear. But I had to put it out there. I fully believe the protests are a trap. And I had pre-said that they're going to take all the energy from 100,000 deaths and redivert it. And so they rediverted into the racial shit. And so it got so now they have both sides not really worried about the plague. In the middle of the plague. Okay? Are we clear? I love you guys. Y'all stay cool. I'll probably be back later when I can see the full moon on the porch. And hopefully I will come down from the eclipse energy because it was intense. Even though it was a Sagittarius, strawberry, full moon eclipse, it was still intense when it got here. And so, main takeaways are there were 250 new Michigan deaths, 5,000 new Michigan cases of COVID. The 19th, we are going to be ascending in crappy conflict until the 19th, the 20th, and the 21st of June. And those 3 days are going to be very bad. Also, I had gotten my Venus retrograde stock market prediction wrong so far. I watched the wonderful, gorgeous, cute, beautiful, smart, but also married Astrolata earlier today. And her and a gentleman whose name I just forgot, sorry, they're from Bulgaria. It mentioned that the market problems would probably start on the 9th of June when Mercury goes invisible. Meaning that, like, when they're behind the sun or by the sun, you can't see them from Earth. And so the kickoff period for the markets should be around the 9th. I know we're back at like normal record levels where somehow the richest got to shed 40 million American employees and American insurance obligations. And then their stocks pretty much rebounded back. Oil's going back up. But I predicted the economy crash would be it's not a V, but a W. It would go down, and then up, and then down, and then up. And so we were looking for market turmoil on the 9th of June. We were looking for really crappy shit, 19th, 20th, 21st. But then on the 23rd, 24th, it should get better for like 6 months. And then, you know, you got to believe that September, October, and November are going to be kind of sketchy. Especially since October is the next Eris alignment. I'm showing off my guns for no reason. They need work. And crystal ball is giant, massive, huge. Beer is good. And I love you, Asteroid Fight Club. Thank you guys for being awesome. Okay. So that's the takeaway. And yeah, dude, give up your addiction to politics. It's really getting us nowhere. We need a new system. And people say, oh, the B system is a one world government. So then don't have a government, have a one world family. Where grandma rules. Sound good? Okay. I love you guys. No, the world is not going to end. But 2020 is going to continue to be the grand transition where we watch capitalism, socialism, and communism totally crumble like the three big churches that are in IPEC GOAT 2. And what if the IPEC GOAT means greatest of all time? Just a thought out there. Okay, everybody stay cool. Love you. I'll be talking to you guys soon because a lot of shit is happening right now. I don't know if you know that. And definitely with the eclipse today and then the second eclipse on the 21st and then I think the third eclipse is June 5th. This is going to be a very energetic surprises, there will be a lot happening. So I implore you to stay cool. I draw my coolness from the King of Kings, Jesus Christ, my dad, my stepdad, my mom, all the friends I've ever known, all the cool people. I don't know where you're going to draw your coolness from, but I ask you to find your greatest strength, to do your best to maintain it, and know that in the future we will have better days. The better days will return. The sun is waking up. We've got a new sunspot, had a new B-class solar flare that I've almost been guaranteeing you guys that when solar maximum really kicks in, things will really start to improve. So hope is still lives. We can still see the light at the end of the tunnel, even if it's a year and a half away, but it's there. It is there. This whole 7-year, 8-year Mayan cycle, the shitty part 1 is almost over. So that is exciting. And don't lose faith. All right? You haven't lost faith in me. I haven't lost faith in you. And it was like I worked my ass off for first 5 months, do my best to give you guys best information, hopefully a few laughs. And then in June, at the very beginning of June, you guys took care of me, made me very happy, and I felt loved and appreciated. So, you know, if you work hard and do good things, it may take a while to get the rewards, but they always show up. It's kind of been my strategy. It's like long shot of the X-Men, where if he keeps his heart pure, everything somehow works out. So that's what I try to do, but I'm not perfect. Stay cool. God bless everyone. Talk to y'all soon.